Good morning, students. So let us start the session. The last class we discussed about checkpoints and what is the TSL. In today's class, we are going to discuss about running and debugging tests. The running and debugging tests. The running tests. So once you write the test script, how you are going to run the tests. So once you have developed a test script, you run the test to check the behavior of your application. When you run a test, WinRunner interprets your test script line by line. The execution arrow in the left margin of the test script marks each TSL statement as it is interpreted. That means when you are going to run the test means first you are going to develop one TSL script. Okay, test script. Now the WinRunner. I hope you all know the structure of WinRunner. 4 classes back, we discussed about the WinRunner. In the left hand side, there is a left arrow that indicates the execution of the test script. Now, when you run the test, the WinRunner operates your application as though a person were at the controls. So that means you can run your tests in 3 modes. That means you can execute your TSL test script in 3 modes. One is the verify run mode to check your application, debug run mode to debug your test script, update run mode to update the expected results. Okay, in 3 ways you are going to run the test. What is the first one? Verify run mode. So this verify, so check your application. What is the application you are going to test? You are going to check by using this verify run mode. You are going to check your application. So similarly, debug run mode, so to debug your test script. Okay, so next one, update run mode. That means update run mode means update the expected results. Okay. So WinRunner test run modes. WinRunner provides 3 modes which to run states. One is verify, debug, update. You use each mode during a different phase of testing process. You can set the different run mode in the general options dialog. So first one is verify. So use the verify mode to check your application. WinRunner compares the current response of your application to its expected response. Any discrepancies between the current and expected responses are captured and saved as verification results. When you finish running a test, by default, the test results window opens for you to view the verification results. You can save as many sets of verification results as you need. To do, save the results in a new folder each time you run the test. You specify the folder name for the results using the run test dialog box. This dialog box opens each time you run a test in verify mode. Okay, so what is a verify? You can execute your test script in 3 ways. One is verify. This verify a mode you are going to use to check your application. That means here the WinRunner can generate the responses for your application. For example, I write a program to find sum of 2 numbers. For example, c equals to a plus b. Now, if I give 2, 3, so for example, it returns 5, and we can store the expected result for 2, 3 as a 5 in another 5. So this we are called as a, now you compare these two, the response of your system, the expected results of the system. Now, so these two can be captured, and this we are going to save in a file, that is verification results. When you finish running a test, by default, the test results window opens for you to view the verification results. You can save as many set of verification results as you need. Okay. Next, the next mode, debug mode. The next mode is debug mode. Use the debug mode to help you identify bugs in a test. So debug. The debug is nothing but the debug mode. So debug mode is nothing but use the debug mode to help you to identify bugs in a test script. What is debug? Debug is nothing but finding the bugs. Debug is nothing but finding bugs. You're trying to find the bugs. So finding the bugs. Okay, that means errors. So use the debug mode to help you identify the bugs in a test script. So running a test in debug mode is the same as running a test is verify mode, except the debug results are always saved in the debug folder. Okay, so what it means, it is also when you are debugging your application. So this is also similar to verify mode only. This is also similar to verify mode only. But when you debug an application, so these results are saved in debug folder. So there is a folder with name debug. In this folder, you save the results. So because only one set of debug results is stored, the run test dialog box does not open automatically when you run a test in debug mode. When you finish running a test in debug mode, the test results window does not open automatically. To open the test results window and view the debug results, you click the test results button on the main toolbar or choose tools test results. Okay. So use Windrunner debugging facilities when you debug a test script. Use the step commands to control how your test run. Set breakpoints at specified points in the test script to pass tests while they run. Use the watch list to monitor variables in a test script while the test runs. Use the call chain to follow and navigate the test flow. That means when you are debugging, so there are some facilities you have in Windrunner. So first one is use the step commands to control your test run. So what it means, for example, you have 10 lines of code, 10 lines of code. Now by using these arrow marks, you can control this test run. You can control, for example, I am in this line. So for example, this is the 7th line. I want to execute again from 3rd line, again line 4th line, or then you're going to control this with the help of step commands. And similarly, set breakpoints. For example, at 5th line, I want to break the execution. Then you are going to set the breakpoints here and use watch list to monitor. Watch list is nothing but, for example, here there is a variable a. Here, I want to know the value of the a. So, for example, I assign a equals to 5 here, a equals to 10 here. If I assign this a value to the watch window, at this instruction, the value of a is 5. At this instruction, the value of a is changed from 5 to 10. Okay, so and use the call chain to follow and navigate the test flow. That means the execution flow. Okay, so this is about debug. The verify is used to verify your application, whether it is executing and verifying your application. And debug is nothing but you are going to try to find the bugging, and when you are finding the bugging is nothing but that is also similar to verify, but the results are stored in a folder. That folder name is debug. Okay, and in verify mode, when you complete the test script, when you complete the test, automatically a new window will be open and it shows the result. But coming to debug, it does not open automatically. By clicking this test results button on the main toolbar, or you select from tools menu test results, then it shows the results to you. Okay, and third one, so third mode, update. So use the update mode to update the expected results of a test or to create a new expected results for folder. So for example, you could update the expected results for a GUI checkpoints that checks a push button in the event that the push button default status changes from enable to disable. You may want to create an additional set of expected results if, for example, you have one set of expected results when you run your application Windows 98 and another set of expected results when you run your application in Windows NT. That means network. So what it means, update is nothing but here in update mode, you are going to update the expected results of a test or to create new expected results. Expected results. So for example, there is a window. In this window, so there is a button. So this is the button. So let us assume OK button. This is OK button. Now, so you could update the expected results for GUI checkpoints that checks a push button. So this is the button. In the event that push button default status changes from enable to disable. So when it is loads, the property enable property is disabled here. Okay, this is the enable. There is a property that may be enabled or disabled, and may want to create an additional expected results. So for example, this window we are executing in Windows 98. So Windows 98. So let us assume Windows 7. Windows 7. And the same results, the same GUI application, you are going to execute in Windows 11. Now you are going to check the expected results for both of these, both the operating system, Windows 7 and Windows 11 or Windows 10. Okay, so this we are called as a update mode. Use the update mode to update the expected results of a test or to create a new expected results folder. Okay, by default, Windrunner saves expected results in the EXP folder. EXP means expected folder. So overwriting any existing expected results. You can update the expected results for a test in one of two ways. One is by globally overwriting the full existing set of expected results by running the entire test using a run command. And second one, by updating the expected results for individual checkpoints and synchronization points using the run from arrow command or step command. Okay, by using these two options, you are going to change the expected results. So one is by using the run command, another one is by using step command. Step command. Okay. So next, the debugging tests are controlling your test run. After you create a test script, you should check that it runs smoothly without errors in syntax or logic. In order to detect and isolate defects in a script, you can use the step and pause commands to control test execution. Okay, that means after you create the test script, so we are going to use this test script to check the application. Whether the application have any syntax errors or application have any logical errors, you are going to check by using these test script. Now, in order to detect and isolate defects in a script, you can use the step and pause commands to control the test execution. Isolated defects is nothing but a minor. The defects are not. We don't find these type of defects when you are running the program in normal fashion. Here we are going to find the isolated defects. So you can use the step and pause commands to control test execution. The following step commands are available. The step command runs a single line of a test script. Step command is nothing but, for example, I have 5 lines. Now the step command, by using this step command, I'm going to execute or debug these instructions line by line, line by line. The step command runs a single line of a test script. The step into command calls the displays another test or user defined function. The step out command uses to conjunction with step into. That means these two. So this can be conjunction with this step into complete the execution of a call test or user defined function. Okay. The step to cursor command runs the selected section of test script. So what it means, So for example, step command runs a single line of test script. Similarly, step into command calls and display another test. So for example, there is another function is there. So for example, this function will be called from this function. So call from this test script. Now, so this we are called as a step into command. So step into command calls and displays another test or user defined function. Similarly, the step out command, so used in conjunction with step into, so completes the execution of a call test or user defined function. And step the cursor command, that means for example, I want to check a part on the TSL, then we are going to use the cursor command. The step to cursor command runs a selected section of a test script. In addition, use the pause command or pause function to temporarily suspend the test run. Okay, so these are the two commands, so pause command and pause functions. So these two we are going to use to suspend the test run temporarily. You can also control the test run by setting breakpoints. A breakpoint pauses a test run at a predetermined point, enable you to examine the effects of the test on your application. So what it means, what is a breakpoint? So breakpoint is nothing but it pauses a test run at a predetermined point. For example, these are the instructions in this application. Here I set the breakpoint. I set the breakpoint. Now it executes all these instructions and here it breaks or surpass the test run at predetermined point. So this point we are called as a break point. This enables you to examine the effects of test on your application. To help you debug your test, Windrunner enables you to monitor variables in test script. To define the variables you want to monitor in watch list, as the test runs, you can view the values that are assigned to variables. You can view the current values of monitored variables in the watch list pane of the debug viewer. So what it means, there is a watch list window. In this, if I add the variable names, for example, I define a value, comma b, comma c. Now I add these variables to the watch list. Now I want to know the values of the a comma b at a particular statement. For example, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th instruction. Now, in the 5th instruction, we are going to identify the values of a comma b that was already assigned to this watch list. You are going to monitor these variables a comma b in watch list. You can use the call chain to follow and navigate the test flow at each break during a test run, such as after a step command, at a breakpoint, or at the end of the test. You can view the current chain of call tests and functions in the call chain pane of the debug viewer. So when you debug a test script, you run the test in the debug mode. The results of the test are saved in a debug folder. Each time you run the test, the previous debug results are overwritten. So overwritten, and continue to run the test in the debug mode until you are ready to run it in verify mode. Okay. Analyzing the results. Next topic is analyzing results. Analyzing test results. After you run a test, you can view the results in the test results window. The test results window. So after execution of your test script, we get some results. So these results we are going to see in test results window. The appearance of this window depends on the report view option you select in the run category of the general options dialog box. So the appearance of this test results window, so that is depends on the report view option. Report view option you select in the run category of the general options dialog box. There are two types of test results views. One is WinRunner report view, and second one is unified report view. WinRunner report view displays the test results in a Windows style viewer. If you run a test that includes a call to a quick test, the WinRunner report view displays only basic information about the results of the quick test. So when running tests that call quick test, it is recommended to use the unified report view. The WinRunner report view, it displays the test results in a Windows style viewer. Windows style viewer, it displays a window. In this window, it's going to display the results. The next one, the unified report view. So displays the results in a HTML style viewer. The unified test fusion report viewers is identical to the style used for quick test professional test results. Okay, in this, it is recommended to use the unified report view. Unified report view, it displays the results in an HTML style viewer. The unified test fusion report viewers is identical to the style used for the quick test professional test results. These two are the identical. The quick test professional test results and the unified report. If you run a test that includes a call to a quick test, the unified report view enables you to view detailed results of each step in the called quick test, so regardless of the selected report. Report view. The test results window always contains a description of the major events that occurred during the test run, such as the GUI, bitmap, or database checkpoints, file comparisons, and error messages. It also includes tables and pictures to help you analyze the results. So first one, WinRunner report view. So this can be displayed the results in a Windows style viewer, and it is not recommended. So only basic information displays. So they are recommended that unified report view to to analyze the test results. So this will display the results in HTML style viewer, and the test results window contains a description description of the major events that occur during the test run, that such as GUI, already discussed in our previous classes. So GUI, bitmap, or database checkpoints, or file comparisons, and error messages. So all these are included in this report. So next topic is batch tests. The batch tests. So batch tests. You can run a group of tests unattended by creating and executing a single batch test. A batch test is a test script that contains call statements to other tests. It opens and executes each test and saves the test results. What is batch test? The batch test is nothing but a batch test is a test script. So that means this is the test script. Now, so this test script contains the call statements to other tests. So for example, this is the batch test. In this, you call this the test 1, test 2, test 3 up to test 10. It opens and executes each test and saves the test results. Okay. So batch testing is nothing but you write one test script. So this test script contains the statements. So these statements you are using to call the other test scripts. Okay. So this is the diagrammatic representation of batch test. A batch test looks like a regular test that includes call statements. Okay, by using these call statements, we call other test scripts. A test becomes a batch test when you select the run in batch mode option in the run category of the general options dialog box before you execute the test. Okay, so how we can make a batch test means when you select the run in batch mode, if you select this option run in batch mode option in the run category of the general option dialog box before execute the test. So when you run a test in batch mode, WinRunner suppresses all messages that would ordinarily be displayed during the test run, such as the message reporting a bitmap mismatch. So when you run a test in batch mode, WinRunner suppresses all messages. It suppresses all messages that would ordinarily be displayed during the test run. So for example, message reporting, it suppresses, the WinRunner suppresses these type of results. The WinRunner also suppresses all pass statements and any halts in the test run resulting from runtime errors. By suppressing all messages, WinRunner can run a batch test unattended. So this differs from a regular interactive test, the run in which message appears on the screen and prompt you to click a button in order to resume the test execution. A batch test enables you to run tests overnight or during off-peak hours so that you can save time while testing your applications. At each break during a test run, such as after a step command, at a breakpoint, or at the end of the test, you can view the current chain of call tests in the call chain pane of the debug viewer window. When a batch test run is completed, you can view the results in the test results window. The window displays the results of all the major events that occur during the run. Okay, so these are the results you are going to find if you test, if you run a batch test. Okay, this suppresses the messages. The WinRunner suppresses the messages, and the window displays the results of all the major events that occur during the run. And these batch tests enables you to run tests overnight or during off-peak hours so that you can save the time when testing your application. So why? Because these test runs calls the another test script, so it takes more time. So the batch test enables us to run tests overnight or during off-peak hours so that you can save the time. Okay, so this is about batch test, batch testing. Okay. In tomorrow class, we are going to discuss about the last topic in STM, rapid test script wizard. So we meet in tomorrow class. In tomorrow class, we are going to complete the STM syllabus.